Well, it being the 21st of July, the year 2023, welcome to EBN Prime Edition. Right here with me, Sammy Adika. The former president, that is Uhuru Kenyatta, has broken his silence following the police raiding one of his children's home back in Karen, right here in Nairobi. Well, the former president has dared the government to go after him and let alone his family. Well, we are expecting that much. We'll anticipate following the raid right there in Karen just a few minutes or rather hours from now. We expect that the former president will now be making an official statement. Remember, he has asked the president or rather the government to go after him and leave his family, vowing to defend his children and family at large by all means possible. Well, welcome to the broadcast, but first, let's take a look on what is making headlines tonight. Well, welcome back. Remember to get in touch with us through our socials at EBN TV and at Sammy Adika. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta has told off the government for trying to frustrate his family. Speaking this evening at one of his children's home in Karen, Nairobi, the former head of state has asked the government to stop using state machinery to intimidate his family and instead go after him. This comes just a few minutes after the police left the home of Uhuru's child, where they went to conduct a search. And still on matters politics, Azimio leadership has now put it clear that Wiper Party leaders Kalonzo Musyoka has been under house arrest in a bid to prevent him from participating in their planned demonstrations. Confirming the incident, the leader of minority Opiyo Wandayi has said that Musyoka has been prevented from leaving his current residence from Tuesday evening. The leaders have, however, expressed confidence that intimidations by the government will not stop the oppositions or rather the opposition from putting forth their agenda.
We've been made aware. It's unfortunate that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka has been essentially under house arrest since Tuesday evening. So we came to check on him, and luckily because when you guys arrived, those who had put him under house arrest also gave way. But he's in high spirits, and he's actively involved in our activities. We have engaged informally with him and my colleague here as a way of reviewing the progress of the positive action which is underway across the country. And we are very pleased that the positive action, the resistance, the defiance has been very, very successful so far. So far. We take note of the fact that business has essentially come to a standstill across the country as a way of people demonstrating their disappointment at the direction the country is taking. We shall be communicating to the country as Azimio about plans for next week in due course. Within 48 to 72 hours, we shall be issuing a communication about next week. So we urge our people to stay firm and remain committed to the cause. We know that there have to be sacrifices which have to be made if Kenyans are to realize their dream. We still take note that a number of our people are still under arrest, and we continue to demand that they be released.
And moving on, the family of former Mungiki leader Maina Njenga is now demanding to know his whereabouts. Speaking in Nairobi at Milimani Courts, Murungaru Committee, the family spokesman, said that Maina Njenga was wrongfully arrested and that the state is violating his constitutional rights by wrongfully detaining him. The former Mungiki leader was allegedly arrested by police on Wednesday at his father's house in Lower Matasia in Ngong, Kajiado County. The alleged police officers are reported to say they wanted to question him over the ongoing anti-government protests in the country.
Mimi naitwa Mr. Murungaru na mimi ni raia wa Kenya, na nikiwa raia wa Kenya nimekuja kumtetea Maina Njenga. Serikali hii ya William Ruto tangu juzi ilimkamata Maina Njenga kwake nyumbani kwa baba yake, akiwa ameenda kuona baba yake akiwa mgonjwa, akachukuliwa na polisi, wengine wakiwa na nguo rasmi na wengine wakiwa na nguo zisizo rasmi, na mahali ambapo wamempeleka hadi sasa hivi kama familia na kama marafiki hatujui mahali Maina Njenga yuko. Tumetembea all the police stations, tumetumana karibu all police station Kenya. Swali ambao tunauliza, Maina Njenga yuko wapi? Na serikali ya Kenya, wakati mmechukua Maina Njenga, nchi hii iko na katiba ambayo inasema ya kwamba mtu akikamatwa baada ya masaa 24 apelekwe kotini. Kwa nini Maina Njenga haki yake ya kimsingi amenyimwa? Kwani Maina amefanya nini? Ni mashtaka gani hii ako nayo ambayo si bailable, ambayo hawezi pelekwa mahakamani katika Jamhuri ya Kenya? Swali la pili, kwa nini anafichwa? Yaani wameficha Maina kama bangi, kwa sababu hatujui yuko wapi. Watoto wake wanalia, mke wake analia, anauliza haki yake itapatikana na njia gani? Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali yetu na inspector wa polisi, pahali Maina yuko kwa police station yote katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, tunaomba kwa masaa 2 aweze kutolewa na statement itengenezwe na polisi, tujue Maina Njenga yuko wapi. Kama hiyo statement haitapatikana baada ya masaa 2, sisi kama wananchi wa Jamhuri ya Kenya tutajijazia kwamba Maina Njenga hatima yake haijulikani, na haki kama vile ilivyo tuweze kutafuta haki nyingine ambapo tunaweza pata haki katika nchi nyingine, aidha ni ICC au mahali pengine, kwa sababu nchi hii tunashangaa, kwani sheria, kwani tumesuspend constitution ya Kenya imesuspendiwa.
Now moving to the coastal part, or rather the coastal region in the country, Kilifi County Assembly Speaker Teddy Mwambire and Kilifi South Member of Parliament Ken Chonga will spend the weekend behind bars after a magistrate court deferred the ruling on their bond application to Monday. The two, who were among 4 individuals arrested on Wednesday during the anti-government demonstrations in Mtwapa in Kilifi County, had already spent 2 nights behind bars. The 4 will now spend their weekend at Port Police Station in Mombasa until Monday morning, when Mombasa Chief Magistrate Martha Mutuku will deliver a ruling on whether the 4 should be released on bond or not.
Mr. Fat, Senator, together with Ms. Mohambo. The third accused person in the charge, Mr. Mazai. Act on that. So we start with an affidavit that is already defective.
And in Western region, the ongoing demonstrations have seen a split amongst a section of Kenya Kwanza and Azimio leaders from counties in the Western region. ODM chairperson in Kakamega County, Bernard Shitiabai, has condemned the use of excessive power by police to disperse Azimio protesters, noting that it is their right to demonstrate and picket.
Tumeshangazwa sana na polisi nyinyi. Kumbe muko na ile special gloves mnaenda kuprotect Cleophas Malala akifanya vitu yake. Sisi wakati tunataka kufanya yetu iko tear gas. Leo hii tumejionea. Kumbe wewe Cleophas Malala na serikali yako ya Kenya Kwanza, nyinyi ndio mnaharibu nchi ya Kenya. Na tunaomba wewe IG, kama hiyo ndio mtindo ya nyinyi mnafanya kuprotect watu wachache, haswa watu wa UDA,
na tunawaambia we are putting you on notice. Sisi we shall not take this abuse lying down. Na tukiendelea hivi sisi wananchi itabidi tumejihami, tujiprotect. Na Zakayo lazima utashuka.
Leo hii mimi kama kijana nanunua unga zaidi ya shilingi 200. Nanunua sukari zaidi ya shilingi 200. Mimi nauliza tunaelekea wapi kama taifa? A people united shall never be defeated. And where diplomacy fails, force is required. We are here to demonstrate. Vijana tupo!
Tupo! Kakamega ni ngome la ODM. Na utahesabu wabunge ambao tuko nao, utahesabu MCAs ambao tuko nao, utahesabu gavana ambao tuko naye, utajua kwamba hii ni ngome ya chama cha ODM. Na hakuna vile utakuja kutuambia ya kwamba hatuwezi fanya maandamano Kakamega. Maandamano yatafanywa, upende, usipende.
And in Vihiga County, Kupet chairperson and Emuhaya member of parliament Omboko Milemba and a section of leaders from Vihiga have lauded the county residents for not taking part in the anti-government protest, noting that it is not the way to solve the high cost of living. This comes at a time when President William Ruto is expected to tour Vihiga County on Saturday to launch a 1 billion Kenya shillings water project, among other major projects.
Vihiga haijakuwa na maandamano hata kidogo, na ni kwa sababu sisi tumekaa ngumu kama viongozi. Unaona tuko MCS wote, MPs wote kutoka sub county ya Vihiga, county ya Vihiga, na tukasema yeyote ambaye anataka kutest labda uongozi wetu ajaribu na maandamano, na tukaweza kuua maandamano haya, na tunamhakikishia rais hatukutakuwa na maandamano tena Vihiga hii.
County yetu ni county ambayo inaunga serikali na William Ruto kwa ujumla. Na hiyo nguvu ambao wenzetu wanapeleka kwa maandamano na watumie kuendelea sasa kutengeneza mambo ya ukulima ya mahindi, sababu tumetoa ile ukulima ya kwanza na huwa tuna ratuni ya pili, waende shamba tupande vyakula ili tuweze kupunguza hali ya njaa.
Hatujakuwa na maandamano ya upande wowote hapa Kakamega. Tunashukuru sana kwa sababu hata mama mboga wetu wa hapa Kakamega sasa kazi yao inanawiri. Wanafanya kazi bila uoga.
Pili, ningependa kushukuru Secretary General wa chama cha UDA, amesimama kidete, ameshikilia amani ya Kakamega. Ukitembea sasa Kakamega town, biashara inaendelea, watu wanafanya kazi. Na kila mtu anaendelea na biashara yake, watu uoga imeisha. Sisi tungependa kuhimiza wananchi wa Kakamega. Hatutaki kurudi kwa zile enzi tulikuwa.
And now crossing over to Siaya County, a group of protesters are reported to have torched the home of Bondo Township location chief Walter Omolo after one of their colleagues was shot dead during Azimio demonstrations in Bondo town last evening. The youth accused the chief for pointing the deceased as a target to the police. Confirming the incident, Omolo said, or rather stated, that the protesters raced down his homestead and stole several items before proceeding to his shop at Migingo Market in Bondo town and breaking in.
I received a phone call from Ken Ouma telling me that there is somebody who has been killed, and the protesters are saying that I'm the one who pointed that person to the police to kill. Because I was not there, I did not agree with him, and it was somehow that we exchanged that how can somebody say that I was there and I'm out of there, I'm near my home. In that event, some other people called me. Then I called the OCS. So after calling the OCS was as if he could not believe, because I did not even appear within his vicinity. But because that is what the information I got, I forwarded to him. In less than 10 minutes, those people were at that junction coming to my home in a big number. I called my people around. I called my wife to leave the home. Then after seeing them, I hid. Then they passed. They came to my home. It's harmless. So how do you become into the mix? And we don't also command the police on whatever they do. Police do not take commands from us. But in a nutshell, I was not there. I only heard that somebody was killed when I was being called that these people were coming to my home. So we are still investigating to know to reach to the bottom part of it. But it is too early. Maybe later we will know. But what I want to say is that I still don't believe that the people of Bondo do not know me.
And President William Ruto has firmly reiterated that every Kenyan, irrespective of their position in the country, must respect the rule of law. While seemingly attacking Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leaders, the president has vowed to ensure that calmness is maintained in the country despite the existing political temperatures. The head of state has yet again commended law enforcers for playing a critical role in keeping the nation safe. The president has, however, asked the police to maintain professionalism while handling Kenyans.
The same way we said we are going to get rid of extrajudicial killing is the same way we are committed to making sure that there is no impunity. You cannot, at the same time, while we get rid of extrajudicial killing, you cannot introduce impunity that you can destroy people's property, you can cause mayhem, you can cause anarchy and get away with it. You will not. The same way we have said everybody must respect the rule of law. And we are asking our security agencies, our law enforcement officers to be thorough, to be firm, and I want to commend our security agencies for being professional in how they have handled all these people. Criminals must be dealt with firmly, decisively, and made sure that everybody respects the rule of law and we don't encourage impunity of any nature. It is IF kutoka shilingi 500 mnalipa saa hizi, tutateremusha ikuje 300 hapo. Na tunapanga saa hizi, na sisi ambao tunapata mshahara yetu iko juu kidogo, tutaongeza sisi tulipe kiwango ya juu kidogo, ndio tuhakikisha kwamba we can carry the majority of Kenyans and make sure that health becomes truly bottom up.
Well, remember that the anti-government demonstrations that has just ended today, for this week, the 3 days anti-government demonstration definitely came at a cost. And now the Kenya Association of Manufacturers says the country has been losing approximately 2.8 billion Kenya shillings every single day that the anti-government demonstrations send, and is most likely to send the country into a limbo. According to the association, the country is likely to face economic crisis as the environment is not conducive for businesses, and they now want the government to swing into action and resolve the stalemate.
Suffice to note, business have not been spared either with reports of damages and loss of properties such as vehicles, offices, shops, infrastructure, and outlets. The ongoing protests have dealt a significant blow to the manufacturing sector. We share the pain of most of our members who have reported that numerous businesses have experienced disruptions, hindering their day-to-day operations. This has led to severe financial losses for businesses of all sizes, affecting not only their growth, but also the livelihoods of their employees. In some instances, some businesses and retail outlets have borne the brunt of angry protesters who vandalized their enterprises, as we have witnessed in the media. Our manufacturing sector contribution to the Kenyan economy stands at about 1 trillion shillings, as per the Economic Survey 2023. This translates to approximately 2.86 billion shillings daily in value addition. Therefore, the country stands to lose up to 2.86 billion shillings daily if the protests continue to disrupt businesses as we have witnessed in the last 2 weeks by the Constitution. As it is, we are in a lose-lose situation. There is no winner in this scenario. We must all agree to dialogue and endeavor to find a compromise for us to move forward as a country and not reverse the gains we have achieved so far.
And religious leaders in the country have continued to call on the opposition leaders to revert their approach of voicing their grievances. The leaders drawn from different religious organizations have strongly condemned the application, or rather the use of excessive force by police while dealing with the demonstrators, as they are entitled to peaceful demonstrations. President William Ruto and opposition principal Raila Odinga have been urged to reconsider bipartisan talks as a means to end the political tension currently being witnessed in the country.
Since the beginning of this year, the country has been plunged in a state of tension, violence, and political dispute that has split the country. It is very worrying that during the demonstrations witnessed since the beginning of July, we have documented 27 persons shot dead by police during demonstrations. This cannot continue and must be brought to an end immediately.
Let us all remember that the solution to the financial crisis and devastation of poverty we are experiencing is not solved by violence, but rather through people-focused governance and devoid of corruption and impunity. We appeal to all of us to adopt a new form of maandamano by demonstrating peace and calm. Embrace dialogue for the sake of the nation.
We therefore strongly condemn the application of excessive force and use of live bullets by police when containing the chaos during demonstrations, and therefore call upon the Inspector General to guide the officers on legal and humane approaches. On their part, we call upon organizers of demonstrations to ensure that their supporters adhere to the rule of law and do not provoke or attack the officers and avoid looting and destruction of property.
We appeal for a resumption of bipartisan talks with a single agenda of facilitating the reconstituting of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. We affirm the country is currently in a very precarious position that can lead to an existential crisis should elections be required without a proper constituted commission in place. Further, there remains only 10 months to the cardinal process of review of boundaries of electoral units. Having an amicable process.
And now moving forth, the government has now stated that the places of worship must be regulated. This is according to the Cabinet Secretary of ICT and the Digital Economy, Eliud Owalo, who said that this will not interfere with the freedom to worship. Speaking before the Senate committee that is investigating Shakahola massacre, Owalo has noted that religious organizations should be regulated right from registration so as to avert cases of Kenyans being brainwashed.
The questions of how you exercise that faith and how it harms other people and how it offends other laws, as the CS has said, lies outside the ambit of self-regulation. So you don't regulate content of that religion, but then in your practice of that faith, you must not offend other laws, and neither should you offend the rights and freedoms of other people. The issue of suspending miracles is something that we can be able to, as we review the programming code, we can bring it on board. Okay? So then we can be able to ban, because we also need to ensure that we have the law before we act. On the issue of people faking miracles, as long as we can get the evidence as long as we can, because the end of the day when these people go to court, the burden of proof that the person is innocent will be on us. We need to be able to have concrete evidence that this miracles of fact for us to have a case in court that can go through.
Now, taking a look on matters security, a section of leaders from West Pokot County have vowed to work together in a bid to end the historical attacks in the county. Led by members of Parliament William Kamket and Nicholas Ngikor, the leaders have expressed interest in restoring peace between Pokot and Turkana communities. This follows a series of blames between the neighboring communities occasioned by the inter-county attacks that has been witnessed in the recent past.
Mimi ni mtu wa amani, na katika moyo wangu ningependa watu wetu waishi pamoja kwa amani. Na hiyo ndio kitu naomba. Nimeambia waziri na tumeambia yeye tukiwa na mheshimiwa hapa kwamba ili to solve the problem ya Sukuta, one of the priorities we need to do ni kujenga hii barabara lami kuanzia Chemolingot hadi Lokori. Hiyo lami peke yake itaondoa wakora. Unajua wakora hawapendi maendeleo. Sindio? So what they will run away from development, asisi pande hii tunaendelea. Sindio? Yes, tutaambia rais sio kwamba hii barabara iwekwe lami. Na stima. Na finally, hii shule ningependa mwalimu mkuu, tafadhali kuanzia intake ya January ita watoto wangu. Mimi mwenyewe nikaleta hapa, nataka watoto wetu wasome pamoja, ama namna gani?
We talk with our warriors. The following day, they are here in Kapedo. I was talking about livestock not being brought here in the village. But now it is the kids we brought here to learn. Both in high school, all the way from the high school to the ECDs. That's what we need. These other things, let's forget about it. It is first those days when we used to fight. Na tumepigana na hakuna faida tumepata. Tumeongea maana mpaka ya Kenya wana CS. This country was demarcated in 1963. Yes. I have never seen anywhere any commission which was formed to demarcate this country. I don't see where the issue of boundaries is coming from. So where the boundaries were left by the white men during those days, that's where our boundaries is for all these counties.
Well, that news from West Pokot County marks the end of our tonight's bulletin. Many thanks for tuning in, but remember to continue following us on our social pages at EBN TV for more details and more engaging discussions and programs. Do have yourselves a great night and also a beautiful weekend ahead.